you off, but first-time callers from now on, because we get lots of complaints. The only complaints about this programme is that people can't get through. So what would you like to tell us this evening, Liam?
It's been a while since I spoke to you last, but basically I've got a freedom of information request about living here with the Napier Barracks, where a lot of illegal migrants are.
For any new listeners or those who don't know, Liam has been eyes and ears down in Folkestone for several months. He has worked tirelessly through the whole process of the 8,000 people arriving on his doorstep, being put on buses and sent to places like Nottingham, where they're currently staying in the Best Western, a sold-out hotel there indefinitely. Since then, they've opened the Napier Barracks. The Napier Barracks is the army base that they are now using to house these people. It's good enough for the army, but not good enough for them. They're saying that this is substandard conditions. They say they need the Savoy or Ritz. Now, tell us about this FOI. What have you got?
Well, basically, I put in a freedom of information request in on the 20th of October, just basically to ask how many have absconded. They sent me an email on the 17th of November saying that this is very, very sensitive information, but 2 days ago I got an email from them, from the Home Office, which said, I'll just read it out really quickly. It said, since the opening of Napier Barracks in September, a number of 8 service users have absconded from the barracks without providing a forwarding address. So 8 have gone.
Well, they
already
can't have a forwarding address because they are migrants, illegal immigrants / socially displaced people who arrive on dinghies. So what we know so far then is this has only been open about a month-ish, hasn't it? Not very long at all. 8 people, according to Freedom of Information. And by the way, I'm very hot to trot with Freedom of Information. They are the people who get all my stories from the BBC that basically... helped buy me this house over 10 years. This is where you get facts and figures that you can put in the public domain. That's why I let you do it. Freedom of information is never wrong, and if it is wrong, it's their fault. They are official figures from whichever public body you are. So this is the Home Office. They're saying 8 are missing. How does it feel to know that there could be 8 people just mincing around your roads who could be either goodies or baddies, willing to do good, bad, evil, or even worse in some scenarios?
And this is the thing. I sent the Freedom of Information request. I sent the PDF over to Damien Collins, our local MP. He said, thank you for showing this Freedom of Information. He said, as you know, he said this, as you know, residents of the barracks are not under arrest and whilst their applications are processed. So during daylight hours are free to come and go as they please. I agree with you that it's very concerning that 8 asylum seekers are absent from the camp since it opened in September. I've written to the Home Office to register my concern about the situation, and I will write to you again once I have an update.
I thought he was going to fob you off in the beginning, and my eyebrows were raising and my ire was being raised also, but that's a great response because it means he's now taking responsibility, and it's very important. When you write to the Home Office, this is important, and this goes high. I mean, I'm sure Priti Patel will get to see it, who is the lady responsible for all this, and she will have to account for these missing people who could be dangerous. And lest we forget, Reading was a former illegal immigrant that murdered 3 gay men. Lest we forget the stabbings in Glasgow. Lest we forget the arrest for an alleged rape in a London hotel only a couple of weeks ago. All down to those who have arrived on dinghies. Now, I'm not suggesting for 1 second that everybody who arrives on a dinghy is a murderer, a rapist, or a paedophile. Certainly I'm not. But what I am saying is we don't know who they are, and I fully understand why you must be completely fucking petrified that in your back garden might be 8 people who are trying to get into your shed to have a bit of kit for the night.
Yeah, but that's the thing. But also, I've also been sent emails from concerned parents because they're hanging around outside schools. You know what I mean? It's relentless, Alex. I've been banging this drum for a long while. That this
it hasn't gone unnoticed, and you have to remember, when you do what people like you and me do, I've been a whistleblower about the BBC for over a decade, and there is no doubting the insurmountable damage I've done to their reputation by not lying about them, but by telling the truth about them and exposing the truth. Unless we forget, in my case, there hasn't been one story that has been pulled or denied about the BBC, any national paper, of which I've written for them all. The Mail, the Sun, the Mirror Group, also own the Express, who I did many stories for. What you're doing is very important. And I also noticed that the Active Patriot today, I mean, he's got video today of them driving dinghies back to France. What is going on?
I don't know. We're living in a dystopian nightmare, but all we can do is keep banging this drum and keep trying to raise awareness for everybody.
Liam, your work is much appreciated, and knowledge is power. And when we know stuff, no, I mean it, and I thank you very much. And I know it's tough sometimes to get through to the show, but I'm glad you got through tonight. And I want to thank you for your time and effort. We appreciate it.
Cheers.
Thank you, sir.
Love you, Junkie.
I love you more, and there's nothing you can do about it. It is a Wednesday night. We're live across.